All right, in this video, we're going to talk about Joe Biden and the Democrats, and we're going to talk about their propensity to continually lie, whether it's to us, about us, or to themselves. I don't know which one's more dangerous. We'll talk about it all, but I want to first remind you to go to mypillow.com and support our sponsor, Mike Lindell, and mypillow.com/LFS6B for all the best deals for the LFS6B audience. Use our code LFS6B at checkout for 10 to 60% off. That's right, folks. Democrats are professional liars, and they lie to themselves as much as they lie to us and about us. And sometimes I think it's those lies that have the most effect on our lives. It's like Kathy Hochul telling herself that she doesn't have a crime problem. Well, that's a lie. Gavin Newsom telling himself he doesn't have a crime problem or a homeless problem. Well, that's a lie. Lori Lightfoot telling herself she doesn't need to do anything about the murder rate in Chicago. That's a lie. Joe Biden telling himself and telling us that the economy is strong right now. Well, that's a lie. Kamala Harris telling us that she thinks the border is secure. That's a lie. Now, like I said, they also lie about us, whether it's right to our face or whether it's go around the world and lie to us. America, it's a systemically racist nation. That's a lie. America's capitalism, our capitalist economy is based on greed. That's a lie. We're inherently unfair to the poor and middle-income citizens. That's a lie. The rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer. Well, that's a lie. Parents should have no say concerning what their children are taught in public schools. Well, that's a lie. Parents are domestic terrorists if they speak out. All lies. Habitual lying, you'd say, also known as pathological lying or compulsive lying. It's the act of consistently and deliberately telling lies, often for no apparent reason. People who habitually lie may do so for a variety of reasons, including a desire for attention, a need to manipulate others, or a lack of empathy for others. One of the main characteristics of habitual liars is their lack of remorse. They may not feel guilty about lying, and they may not show any remorse for the harm their lies may cause. In some cases, habitual liars may not even realize that they are lying and may genuinely believe the lies they are telling. Well, that brings us to Joe Biden. Joe Biden first ran for president in the 1988 presidential election. Well, he didn't last long, not even till the first primary. Being forced to drop out, well, guess why? He was caught in multiple lies about his background, his upbringing, his academic record, and for plagiarizing other politicians. 20 years later, he ran again in the 2008 presidential election. But he dropped out after coming in fifth in the Iowa caucuses, then, of course, became vice president. When he announced his run in the 2020 presidential election, his plagiarism problem came up once again, as some of his policy positions back then were lifted verbatim from other organizations. You know, sometimes I think the Democrats and Joe Biden actually believe the phrase, remember, it's not a lie if you believe it. There are several characteristics that may be present in someone who is a serial liar. See if any of these sound familiar. 1, lack of remorse. Serial liars often do not feel guilty about lying and may not show remorse for the harm their lies cause. 2, persistent lying. Serial liars may consistently lie, even when confronted with evidence to the contrary. They may also continue to lie even when it's clear that they have been caught in a lie. Inconsistent stories. Serial liars may change their story or provide inconsistent information when telling lies. This may be an attempt to cover up their lies or to avoid being caught in a new lie. Does that sound familiar? Deception is 4. Serial liars may be skilled at deceiving others and may use various tactics such as charm or manipulation to get what they want. 4, impulsivity. Serial liars may act impulsively and make up lies on the spot, like, I don't know, when you're telling stories to people each and every day, when you have a microphone in your hand each and every day, when you're reading the teleprompter each and every day. You make up things on the spot, whether it's numbers or stories or relationships or places you've been or things you've done in your career. You lie so much that some group out of New York ends up with a T-shirt with your career on it because you've lied so much. And of course, they never think about the consequences. 6, lack of empathy. Serial liars may have a lack of empathy for others and may not consider the impact their lies may have on others. Habitual liars are skilled at deception and use various tactics such as charm or manipulation to get what they want. They may be able to convince others of their lies and may even be able to maintain their lies over long periods of time. Habitual lying can have serious consequences, though, both for the liar and for those around them. Lying can damage relationships and trust, may lead to problems in personal and professional settings. Habitual liars may also have difficulty maintaining stable relationships and may struggle with issues related to low self-esteem and self-worth. Now, not all liars are serial liars, and that lying does not necessarily indicate a lack of character or integrity. We've all told a little white lie here or there. However, if someone consistently lies and exhibits some of the characteristics that I've just spoken about, it should be cause for concern. And that brings us to Joe Biden and his latest lie.
You know, my dad, when I got elected vice president, he said, Joey, Uncle Frank fought in the Battle of the Bulge. He was not feeling very well now, not because of the Battle of the Bulge, but he said, and he won the Purple Heart. And he never received it. He never got it. Do you think you could help him get it? We'll surprise him. So he got him the Purple Heart. He had won it in the Battle of the Bulge. And I remember he came over to the house, and I came out, and he said, present it to him. Okay, we had the family there. I said, Uncle Frank, you won this, and I went to him. He said, I don't want the damn thing. I'm serious. He said, I don't want it. I said, what's the matter, Uncle Frank? You earned it. He said, yeah, but the others died. The others died. I lived. I don't want it.
So, real interesting story, but here's the problem. It's not true. The story doesn't add up. According to the New York Post today, take a look at this headline. Biden claims his Uncle Frank won Purple Heart, but story doesn't add up. President Biden claimed Friday that his Uncle Frank Biden won the Purple Heart for his actions during the Battle of the Bulge in World War II, but there's no evidence of the award, and key details of the story are chronologically impossible. The 80-year-old commander-in-chief has a habit of sharing false or embellished personal anecdotes to build a connection with his audiences, and told his latest apparent tale during largely unscripted remarks to veterans in Delaware. And Biden does this all the time. Whoever he's speaking to, he tries to come up with some story to connect with his audience there, and most of the time, it's not true. Whether he's giving numbers on how much time he spent on Amtrak, telling stories about, it's over and over and over again. His propensity to lie and fabricate is quite unbelievable in these situations. He does it all the time. Biden told the story apparently to make a point about the humility of veterans, but the known facts indicate the story's not true. Biden's father, Joseph R. Biden Sr., died in September of 2002, more than 6 years before his son was elected vice president. Frank Biden, Joe Sr.'s brother, died in 1999. The White House did not immediately respond to the Post's request for comment. The Defense Department referred questions to the Army, the military branch in which Frank Biden served, but the Army did not immediately respond. Well, how can they respond? He just said he did it in 2008 when he was vice president. If the guy died in 1999, it's going to be hard to respond. Frank Biden's tombstone does not identify him as a Purple Heart honoree, nor does his obituary. A partial registry of known Purple Heart recipients also doesn't note anyone by that name receiving the award, though the database is not comprehensive. The Post librarians could not locate prior references to Frank Biden receiving the Purple Heart, which recognizes wounded and killed soldiers. In the Nexus archive, and the repository of Joe Biden's public statements also doesn't contain prior references. Most important fact about this story, Frank Biden died in 1999, making President Biden's story factually impossible. The tale involving Biden's uncle is similar to another emotional, impactful, but false story told by the then presidential candidate Joe Biden in 2019. This one involving a Navy captain supposedly refusing to accept a Silver Star for his heroism in Afghanistan. A Washington Post fact check from the Times said Biden jumbled elements of at least 3 actual events into one story of bravery, compassion, and regret that never happened. Biden made other dubious remarks Friday, including telling veterans that twice as president, he had been in and out of Afghanistan and Iraq in those areas, despite never visiting Afghanistan and Iraq as president and getting no closer than Palestinian city of Bethlehem, almost 300 miles from the Iraqi border. Biden is the oldest ever U.S. president, and his mental acuity frequently is a matter of public debate, particularly when he asked, "Where's Jackie?" as he searched for the late Representative Jackie Walorski in September, despite publicly mourning her death and even calling her family to offer his condolences in August. Multiple times this year, Biden has incorrectly said that his son, Beau Biden, died in Iraq. But Biden also has decades-long habit of stretching the truth. No, he has decades-long history of lying. And it's the same thing with this guy all the time, whether he's lying about his education, how far he ranked in his class, how many degrees he has. It's just one lie after one embellishment after one embellishment after one embellishment over and over and over again. Again, it's not a lie if you actually believe the lie. I think Joe Biden believes most of the stories he tries to tell as if they are truth. To him, they are truth. All right, folks, that's going to do it for this one. Again, visit our sponsor, Mike Lindell, and MyPillow, mypillow.com/LFS6B for all the best deals for the LFS6B audience. And use our code LFS6B at checkout for 10 to 60% off most items. And I'll see you in the next one.